Good morning, everyone. In this session, we'll learn about multimedia, which is the first chapter in 12th standard computer applications. Multimedia allows the users to combine and change data from various sources like image, text, graphics, video, audio into a single platform. This is one of the fast growing technology over the last decade and has brought a lot of changes to computing, entertainment, and education. Multimedia applications play a vital role in terms of presenting information to the users. Learning objectives. You will be able to understand the various multimedia tools. You will know the various multimedia formats that we can use. And you will be able to understand the multimedia production methods and the team activities. The word multimedia comprises of two words. One is multi and the other one is media. Multi refers to many, more than two, and media is the plural form of medium, which represents any form of communication like text, graphics, images, audio, video, etc. Definition of multimedia. Multimedia is an integration of many types of media like text, graphics, images, audio, animation, video, etc. on a single medium in the same information unit. Integration means combination, combining many media like text, graphics, images, audio, video, etc. into one single medium, one platform, and it is called multimedia. So this is the definition of multimedia and you will have to learn it for 2-mark question. Now we will learn the various components of multimedia. There are 5 basic components of multimedia categorized into dynamic elements and static elements. Dynamic elements refers to elements that keep on changing from time to time. And examples are video, animation, and audio. Static elements remain constant and examples are text and graphics. Text and graphics do not change from time to time. Graphics represents images, photographs, still images is represented by graphics. And text and graphics do not change from time to time, every second, and they are called static elements, whereas videos, animations, audio changes from 1 second to the next second, from time to time, and they come under dynamic elements. So the basic categories of components are dynamic and static, and video, animation, and audio comes under dynamic elements. Text and graphics come under static elements. Now we will learn each of these 5 elements in detail. First, we will learn about text. Text is the basic component of multimedia and it is the most common way of communicating information from one person to another person. Even though multimedia includes images, video, audio, graphics, etc., text remains the basic component in multimedia. If you want to give a description for a video, or if you want to see a description for an image, you will have to use the text. If you want to give some headings, we'll have to use the text. So text is generally classified into static text and dynamic text. Static text represents text that will remain static. Static means that will remain constant, that doesn't change. Okay. So static text are words that will remain static as a heading or given in a line or in a paragraph. Generally, static text is given along with images or videos to explain about the image or give description about the video, what is contained inside the video. In static text, the words will either give information about an image or a video, or it will support the image or video. The next one is hypertext. Before getting into hypertext, let us recall about hyperlinks that we have learned in 11th standard. Hyperlinks are links between two web pages. In a website, there can be many web pages. So to link two web pages, we use hyperlinks. And these hyperlinks are generally blue in color and they are underlined. When you move the mouse pointer over the link, it changes into a hand symbol. And when you click the mouse, single click the mouse, the link takes you to another web page, and we commonly use it. And these are called hyperlinks. Hypertext refers to the text that you use for this link. So here the word link, L-I-N-K, it is a hypertext. The text that you use for creating such links are called hypertext. And we say that it connects from one page to another page. Technically speaking, these are called nodes. It connects from one node to another node. Now let us see the definition of hypertext. A hypertext is a system which consists of nodes, the text, and the links between the nodes. I repeat, it consists of nodes. Nodes refers to the two web pages. It consists of nodes, the text that you use for connecting, and the link between the nodes. So which defines the path the user needs to follow for the text access in non-sequential ways. Sequential refers to something in order. Here non-sequential means we need not be in order. So it is not compulsory that we must click on this link. So if we wish, we can click on the link and move or get access to the next web page. And this is called as a hypertext. Next, we learn about the features of text in multimedia. Text is generally used to convey information, and it must be placed at appropriate position in order to obtain well formatted sentences and paragraphs to describe something. And the readability of the text is more important. It depends upon the spacing and the punctuation, comma, full stop, where we'll have to stop, etc. The message communication will be more appropriate with improved fonts and style. Suitable font should be used so that the reader can read the text more clearly. So these are the features of text in multimedia. We have finished the first component of multimedia. Now we'll move on to the second component, that is image. Image is a vital component in multimedia. Vital means important. Images are generated by the computer in two ways. One is raster or bitmap image, and the other one is vector images. So there are two categories of images. One is raster or bitmap image, and the other one is vector images. First we'll learn about raster or bitmap images. This is the common and comprehensive form of storing images in a computer. Comprehensive means completed form of storing images in a computer. So bitmap is a simple matrix of the tiny dots called pixels that forms your image. We have learnt about this term pixel in 11th standard. Pixel means picture element. It is the smallest dot in your monitor or your TV, etc. So your monitor or your TV is made up of many number of pixels. And we have heard the word resolution. The resolution depends on the number of pixels. So the more closer the pixels are, the higher will be the resolution. Resolution refers to the quality of the image or video. Quality, clarity of the image or video. So your quality and clarity depends upon this pixel. So the more the closer the pixels are, the more will be the resolution. So generally bitmap uses these pixels to form raster or bitmap images. Each pixel, each dot consists of two or more colors. It depends upon the number of dots used by the display adapter. For example, if it uses 1 bit, it can have only two colors, 0 or 1. So 2 colors, it represents monochrome. 4 bits, 2 to the power 4, 16 colors. Whereas if it uses 8 bits, 2 to the power of 8, it can contain 256 colors and so on. So softwares that are used to create these raster or bitmap images are Paint, Adobe Photoshop, etc. Now we shall see the difference between a 1-bit 2-color image and a 8-bit color image. So the first picture represents a 1-bit 2-color image. 2-color means monochrome, black and white. Whereas the second picture represents an 8-bit color image. So it contains 256 colors. Nowadays we use either 32-bit, 64-bit and so on. So you will have a more number of colors for the image. We'll move on to the second type of image, and it is vector images. So vector images are formed with lines, rectangles, circles and so on. We just learned that raster or bitmap images uses pixels, small dots called pixels to form images, whereas vector images uses lines, rectangles and circles to create images. So why the advantage of vector image is it occupies only small amount of memory space as it uses only small amount of data to represent the image. So representing in terms of lines, rectangles and circles has this advantage of less memory. and it uses only relatively small amount of data to represent the image. Softwares used to create vector images are Adobe Illustrator and so on. So examples for vector images are logos, tags, etc. Now we'll learn about a topic called compression. Before moving on to the topic compression, let us see the small difference between vector image and bitmap image. So when you zoom the image, the bitmap image shows you a blurred image with pixels, whereas vector images are more of high clarity and quality, and when you zoom, it doesn't break up into pixels. Now we learn a new topic called compression. We have heard that when the file size is more than the size of your storage device, for example, pen drive, we used to compress it and store it. We call it a zip and unzip the file. This compression technique is used to reduce the size of the file. So if your image file or a video file is of a size greater than what is available in your pen drive, you can compress it and store it. So it is used for storing large number of images and for transfer of images from one in a network. So compression is a technique by which a recurring set of information is identified and it is replaced by a single piece of information. So how is this compression done? So it is done by identifying a recurring set of information. Recurring means a repeated set of information, and it is replaced by a single piece of information. To understand this, let us see this example of video compression. In this video, there are 5 frames. So the first one is the original video frame, whereas the second one is the compressed sequence. Look at the first and the 5th frame, it remains the same. Whereas in the second, third and in the 4th frame, the repeated information, that is the information that remains constant or not stored, and only the information in the frame that keeps changing is stored. So in this way, the file size can be reduced. So compression is a technique by which this repeating or recurring set of information is identified and it is stored only once. When you unzip the file, it replaces this recurring set of information. So when you compress, it is stored only once, and when it is uncompressed, these information that are to be repeated, that remains constant, is put back in those frames, and it appears clearly when you unzip the file or decompress the file. Now we'll move on to the next topic, and it is animation. It is one of the buzzing topics in the recent trend. Animation is the process of displaying still images so quickly so that they give the impression of continuous movement. So generally vector images are used in animation. We just learnt the 2 types of images, raster images and vector images. Generally vector images are used in animations to provide better quality. So animations can be either 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, though we have more than this nowadays. So it is the general milestones are 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional images. So 2-dimensional animation brings an image alive. It occurs on flat X and Y axis. Whereas 3-dimensional images occur on 3 axes. One is X, Y and Z. Here is an example for the difference between 2-dimensional image and a 3-dimensional image. A 3-dimensional image appears more real than a 2-dimensional image. Animation frames. So frames are nothing but each scene in the animation is called a frame. So to give smoothness for the animation, you need at least 16 frames per second. And to make it look so natural, you need at least 25 frames per second. Frame is change of the object in each frame. Animations are generally classified into path animation and frame animation. Path animation involves moving an object on a screen that has a constant background. That is, the background remains the same, only the object moves. Even the object doesn't change, the object moves in a constant background, and that type of animation is called path animation. Example, A cartoon character may move across the screen regardless of any change in the background or the character. Now, the second type of animation is frame animation. In frame animations, multiple objects are allowed to travel simultaneously, and as well as the background, the object can also change. So, the background can change the object, and there can be multiple objects in frame animation. Next, we'll move on to the next component, that is sound. Sound is a meaningful speech in any language and is the most serious element in multimedia. It provides the pleasure of music, special effects, and so on. As you have learnt in physics, sound is measured by decibels, dB. Decibels is the measurement of volume, the pressure level of sound. Here 0 decibel means silence. Optimal decibel is 60 decibels, which human ears can hear, and it represents a normal conversation. So a normal conversation is generally 60 decibels as given in the picture. Anything above 140 decibels will cause damage to your eardrums, and it is not advisable. Now we learn about an important sound extension, and it is MIDI, Musical Instrument Digital Identifier. It is a standard communication tool developed for computers and electronic instruments, generally electronic musical instruments. So here you can see in the picture that a keyboard is connected to a computer. You can play a music in the keyboard and record it in the system. You need separate tools for synthesizing the sound and software for sequencing this sound from the keyboard. This format was developed in the year 1982, and files that are stored have extension .mid or MIDI. We call it as MIDI files. This is one of the important audio format. Now let us learn about digital audio. We have already learnt in physics that generally audio is analog format, right? So, but computers are digital computers, and it can store data only in the form of bits and bytes. So, this analog sound is converted to digital sound, and this process of converting analog sound into digital is called sampling. So, sampled sound is digitized sound. So, a sample of sound is taken and stored every nth fraction of a second as digital information in bits and bytes. So to understand this, let us look at the picture. Here in the picture you have this analog wave transmission in the form of audio, and the digital representation of such analog waves. So sample is nothing but each variation in the sound is taken as a sample. The more number of samples are taken, the more quality the audio will be. If you take more number of samples for every nth fraction of the second and represent it with the help of bits, the quality and clarity of the audio will be more. Moving back to the definition. A sample of sound is taken and stored every nth fraction of a second as digital information in bits and bytes. So the quality of the recording depends on the sampling rate. So sampling rate is nothing but how often the samples are taken. So what do you mean by sample? Sample is nothing but a bit of change in a fraction of second in the audio. So each bit of change in the fraction of second in the audio is called as a sample, and a sample is taken and stored in different forms of bits and bytes. We'll move on to the last component of multimedia, and it is video. Video is defined as the display of recorded event, scene, etc. It is one of the powerful ways of conveying information in multimedia applications. Video can be categorized into two types. One is analog video and the other one is digital video. Analog video can be further classified as composite video and component video. Analog video. The video data that is stored in non-computer media like videotapes, laser discs, film, etc. Here you can see in the picture of a video, in the picture you can see a videotape. So the recording format that is used to store analog video in this tape recorders are Betamax and VHS. VHS stands for Video Home System. These are not in existence now. Analog video is classified into composite video and component video. Composite video represents single channel. That is, in one channel, we embed both audio and video. So it results in low clarity, color blending, and high generational loss. Whereas in component video, there are two or more channels for transmission. We can understand this with a picture. Here, the audio and video are put together as a single channel, whereas here both the audio pins are put together as a separate channel and all the three video pins are put together as a separate channel. So it provides better quality than composite video. Now we'll move on to digital video. Digital video is nothing but electronic representation of moving visual images in the form of digital data, that is bits and bytes. Similar to sound, video is also an analog format and it is digitized with the help of digitization, bits and bytes. So digital video comprises of a series of digital images that are displayed in rapid succession. Rapid means fast, succession means one by one next. Different file formats for multimedia.